actually been able to donate about $12,000 in 4 months. We aim for 25. So it's just solo ownership at this point. So those first couple of years are tight, but now we're doing fantastic. And with having collaborations with the local schools for fundraiser. One of our biggest sales days actually was the local grade school. So finding a way to come over, hear them out. They want to be heard, they want to be seen, they want you to solve a problem, and they don't want to be hungry anymore.
Today we're in Westover Taco here in Arlington, Virginia. We're gonna meet Sarah. She's the owner of this business. She actually got started by being a waitress and was so interested in everything. She wanted to know how to wash the dishes. She wanted to know how to cook the food. She wanted to know how the prices worked. And her agreement with the owners back then when she was an actress was that she would actually do extra work if they allowed her to learn more about the business. So she always wanted to be in the restaurant business, bought her way into this business at Westover Taco, bought out her partners, and now she is the full owner of Westover Taco here in Arlington, Virginia, with more locations to come. So let's go inside and meet Sarah. All right, thanks for inviting us, Sarah.
Yeah, so great to see you.
Yeah, to your location. Honestly, this place has a lot of personality. Originally, you told me that you were actually a waitress,
Yes.
and that's how you got into the restaurant industry.
I did, kind of on a dare from some friends when I was 19. They started waiting tables at a local restaurant, wanted me to come along, and I had no interest at all, but my friends were there, so I did it, and it turned out I loved it. None of them are still in the restaurant industry, ironically. I'm the only one that stayed.
So, like education-wise, there are people who have getting degrees in restaurant management. They're putting 4 years into it, $20,000 plus per year, just to then have to get a loan, another loan, to start that restaurant.
Exactly.
And you were able to get paid, use your time learning from someone that you trust, because you actually knew, like, okay, like if this was successful, I want to know how they did it directly.
Right. And that's the thing is that I will say the hardest part that I learned was the kitchen, and not because the technique was difficult, but because it was a while back and women weren't really welcomed in the kitchen for leadership as easily. So I trying to beg and borrow and trade my way through the kitchen was interesting, but we made it work, and I found some really great mentors in the process. And I think that that's only gotten easier today. At bartending, same thing. It can be very difficult because bartenders are busy. I don't know if you've ever seen, but like when they're on a Friday night, they don't really have time to tell you how they made the drink. So it was a lot more watching and learning and having to kind of pick it up on my own, or go watch a YouTube video and see how something was done if I didn't quite catch on the first time. So it can be a very unique way of learning, but if you're into it and you fight for that, like you're gonna find it so rewarding.
Yeah, so it goes into your the paycheck goes into it. So they said that you have to reach a certain number before you actually get that percentage and you're officially a partner.
Every few months, they would send me an update and be like, hey, you paid off this much. This is how close you are to being done. And, that was really exciting to watch that number keep coming down as, we ran the restaurant. And the restaurant is making money. So that's, and that's always a fear. When you start any business, but particularly restaurants, are really hard the first few years, and making sure that you get those regulars. And we changed the concept completely. It was a dive bar before us. And so opening it up, making it brighter, and bringing in families was a big change. And we had to make sure that everybody knew we were here and saw us and make those regulars. So those first couple of years are tight. But now we're doing fantastic. We're donating money to some different girls and women's sports in the area. We've actually been able to donate about $12,000 in 4 months. So, and that's with me still getting paid as an owner. So it's been terrific. Like we're definitely successful at this point. And being part of the community, I think, is really part of being any business, but particularly restaurants. If I want to be part of your family, if I want to be part of this community, giving back in some way, I think is really important.
Now that you have this restaurant, you have full ownership at this point, right?
Right.
I heard that you bought out your partners.
I did.
Yeah.
So it's just solo ownership at this point.
Nice. And what was their reason for leaving this?
They just wanted to focus on other things. They have other restaurants, and this one was kind of the baby in the group. So they wanted to move on and focus on that. And they knew how excited I was to be here.
And going through that process, right, as a business, you're buying out your partners. At the end of the day, I mean, you guys are friends, but it's serious at that point. They want to get whatever the value is correctly.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Is there a formula for that where it's based on revenue or future revenue to decide like what the buyout cost would be?
Right. Well, interestingly, the bank does all of the, just like if you were buying a house. So they do an evaluation and tell you what they think it's worth. They came up with a number that was under what they were asking for the bar. And honestly, my broker and I decided that we thought that it was worth more than they had thought. So we did get the loan from the bank for the amount that we could. And then I actually had a loan from family for the rest. We felt that it was worth the extra money.
If you're part of the community, I mean, even if you're doing these events, you know, you're doing it for a right cause. I mean, don't get me wrong, but eventually they'll see the brand name, they'll see what you're doing, and it might lead for them to checking you out, checking out the restaurant, checking out what's going on now.
Absolutely, and being the first women's sports bar in the area.
Oh, yeah.
Like there isn't another one. So if you're Googling where to go watch women's sports this week, we're gonna be what you find. And I just find that so exciting, as I'm a huge women's sports fan myself. I love sports in general, and we do show anything on the TVs. We love the kids PGA is really cute. Watching any of the men's games is cool too. But we want to make sure that everybody knows if they're looking for a women's game, we can guarantee it here. And that's really changed the way the community looks at us and the people that come in. And so that's been, and okay, I've got to make this clear. Everybody always says that there's this type or that type they think are coming in, but our number one patrons right now are girl dads. You're looking for a way to relate to your daughter. Maybe she's becoming a teenager and she plays sports. And coming in here gives them something to talk about, gives them that connection. And we have seen more girl dads with their daughters has been the number one clientele recently. And I think that's so cool.
Last business we interviewed, or last couple businesses, they actually said that summertime was some of their slower time, right? But knowing that you have the WNBA during the summer, you have multiple different women's sports teams, would you say that summertime is still the slowest period of time? And how much does sports events actually contribute to getting busier?
I love that you picked that up. So it does make us different. Where women do play March, April, May, June, July, they use, especially like football, flag football, things, use the fields that the men would normally be using, or maybe the school would be using, or community. They're taking the off time, which is when they can get their schedule on the field. So we have a lot of women's sports at that time. I will say sales still decreased some, just because it's summer. People are on vacation and they're not here. But that being said, we definitely held our own this summer with women's sports being on. We filled up with people that would, because there's less traffic because of vacations, maybe drive what would have been 30 minutes and was 20 today to come up and watch sports with us.
Yes, and I can see how that would be a big help for the bartending team too, right? They're probably working at other bars where it's like, dang, the summer's really slow. And they come in here, they work with you, good energy, good employee. They're like, what's going on here? It's like, why are we busy? Like,
one of our newest bartenders that started with us recently, she was laughing because she was on, it was a Monday or a Tuesday, and she was like, I made money. Like, I haven't done that at my other job. And like, so it is one of those things where this time of year keeps them a little more upbeat, keeps things going for them, and keeps money in their pocket, which is great. And we've really appreciated the support, because we do plan for downtime, but we've only been open 4 months. So I didn't have a lot of time to put back savings for this summer. So it's been a lifesaver that people have come in all summer for us.
So since it's only been 4 months, you're still trying to see gauge what the fall is going to look like versus the winter, or do you just use traditional market to see, hey, what it could be like in the fall and this, or do you have certain things coming up to where you're confident that it's going to be busier?
So it's a bit of both, actually. We know traditionally what this restaurant has done in the fall, the winter. I know that Christmas time is going to be slow. People save money, so they don't eat out a lot individually, but they do have a lot of Christmas parties. So we're going to want to pick up some catering for that. That's what's going to carry us through that time of year. January, a lot of people go out less. It's dark. It's cold. If you eat out, you order it, but you also, cooking dinner at home with your family is big in January. Plus you spend a lot of money for the holidays and maybe you traveled and such. So we know that January is going to be slower, but with women's sports this year, and knowing that we have some different things coming up that time of year, we will be busier. And with having collaborations with the local schools for fundraisers, having one of our biggest sales days actually was the local grade school. We did a fundraiser one night for them, and it was our highest grossing sales day yet.
Wow.
So we love that. We love that support, and we love giving the money back to the school that needs it. So we'll do a lot of fundraisers during that time that'll bring in people. Maybe they've never eaten with us before, but they come out to support their kid's school, and now we go on their list.
When you changed the concept from a dive bar to what it is now, what did you expect it to be versus what it is now?
So I wasn't really sure that we would be, I knew the community would be excited about it, but I wasn't really sure how the women's teams around here, if it would be really cool to them and they'd want to participate, or if it was going to be something that like we existed and that's great, but whatever. And I have to say, every women's team in the area has reached out. Most of the girls' teams have reached out to say, how can we partner with you? Can we do watch parties at the restaurant? They have really taken to it in a way that I did not expect and have been so excited about.
Wow. So it's boosting catering, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah.
Parties, events. You could be sponsors for different events going on. Is that what's been going on?
We sponsor, and that's not just getting our name out there, but it's also supporting what we believe in, right? We believe in girls and women's sports, and being part of that has been amazing. But also, when they come over for a watch party and we advertise that, hey, they have a bye week this week and some of the players are going to be in the store, come meet them. And watching little girls get something signed by them or meet somebody that they've only seen on TV and see that, I play soccer too, or, I play basketball, I play football, and knowing that that can be a profession. When I was a girl, that wasn't a thing. I played softball, but I knew that there was an end to that, right? And now seeing that these girls can not only play in college, but this can be a pro sport for them.
Yeah.
And we're that place that they get that connection is just phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, you're in one of the toughest industries. I mean, not only the customers, but what happens in the back of the house if you're in like a big restaurant. Like, I mean, do you just have you just been able to kind of just grow that shield where you can just take whatever happens? Or like, how do you like overcome these things?
I always laugh because people are like, well, it might be really tough to get in and talk to them, or, I do a lot of political activism for restaurants, like things that we need and such. And they're like, well, they can be very, abrupt and things. And I'm like, you understand that for the last 20 years, when somebody asked for a manager, I had to walk up to the table. That's it, you kind of get used to it. The first few are terrifying. And after that, you learn that everybody wants the same thing. They don't want to be hungry. They're at your restaurant because they are hangry at this point. So finding a way to come over, hear them out. They want to be heard. They want to be seen. They want you to solve a problem, and they don't want to be hungry anymore. 9 times out of 10, if somebody is just irate with me, if I say, give me 1 second, and I go grab a snack for them and give them to eat, and I'm like, hey, I can see that you're hungry. Why don't you eat this while we talk? They instantly calm down. They instantly it's a blood sugar thing at that point. You're just hungry.
Yeah. And as far as your personality and how that lends to it, do you see like you've had to change up some things? Like if you have a customer who is loud and abrasive, do you treat that moment differently than another customer that's personality is different? Do you mirror whoever your customer is?
So we definitely try to de-escalate. We try to bring that down.
Okay.
I will say that if you're yelling at my staff, I get a lot more protective. You can yell at me all day long. I can take it. We're fine. But I'm very protective of my staff.
Okay.
So I'm not going to take that well if you go after them. And there's been times I've had to call the police to remove somebody from an incident. We had a thing here where some kids came in, broke our wall open with one of our chairs, just being brats, quite honestly.
Okay.
And when I banned them from the restaurant, one of their parents came in and yelled at me. And I had to call the police to remove their parents. Had nothing to do with food or quality issues or any of that, just behavior.
Yeah.
And so it's definitely, you hope that never happens. It's only happened once in my life, so it's definitely not frequent, but it's definitely being able to de-escalate and say, okay, what can we do to make it better? And I found that if I'm nice to you, it's really, really hard to be mean to me.
So you have 2 areas here, right?
Right,
so
yeah.
If you have like a busy Saturday, you normally have how many bartenders working here?
All right, so right now we do 3
Okay.
on the busiest nights. And so the way that we kind of divide that up, This is our well that goes out to the table. This one over here is what we use if you would order a drink from your table and somebody makes it for you and somebody else runs it. And so I usually put new people right there so they get the most practice. You're gonna make the most drinks all night without having to really interact with customers and do the other things. The person on this end that has this well is gonna take care of everybody at our bar top and the tables on the side. So they're gonna make their own drinks if somebody orders from the bar top. They're also gonna ask how your day was and make sure you get your food ordered and things like that. They're more of the concierge of the area, right? They're going to be the one that's going to interact with you the most. And then we have one more that's going to focus on the dining room side.
Yeah.
They can jump in and make drinks if we get behind. They're going to help run food out. We also keep a host on, 1 or 2 hosts. They help us run food out. They make sure the tables get seated and turned over and such. So they all work together. You'll see our kitchen will even come out and run food out for us. If they're getting behind and things are getting stacked up, one of us will jump back there and do some dishes for them to help get it down a little bit. So it's definitely multi-faction. You're going to work with a little bit of everything and you're going to be a teammate to everybody.
And how many employees do you have here, and how do you determine how many people you'll have in a certain time? Is it that you'll kind of look at potential revenue and you'll do simple math to figure that out, or how does that look?
Absolutely. So we currently have about 20 employees. We're about to lose a few to college, but for right now we have full staff. And then in deciding, usually the way that we've traditionally done it, and the way that I'm guessing most AI models that kind of judge how much sales we're going to have each day do it now, are that you look at last week, this day, you look at last year, this day, you look at a week before and a week after last year, and you kind of pull that data together and go, okay, so last week on Monday night they did $2,000. Last year on that day they did $1,500, but the week before they did $2,200, and the week after they did about $1,700-$1,800. And so you pull it together and go, you know, we're pretty consistent there. We know that we're going to do between $1,500 and $2,000 on that Monday, and for that I'm going to want to have a couple of bartenders here. I'm going to want to have a couple people in the kitchen, because you have to also remember that you're going to have a rush.
Right.
Everybody doesn't time it out to where a few come at a time.
Yeah.
So you really have
it's
to
7 p.m. You're supposed to be here at 8. Slow down.
Yeah, exactly. I think they call each other and show up together. I don't know. But it always happens. So you have to be prepared to do that $1,000 hour. And that's going to require a certain number of staff members, 1 host, 2 bartenders, 2 in the kitchen. And you're going to rock it out. Everybody's going to get their food in 15 minutes or less, which is the goal. And they're going to have a great time, great experience, get those drink refills. So in our kitchen, we actually cut our tortillas and fry our own tortilla chips, which is what Ruth is working on right here.
Awesome.
And then you can see we're ready to be busy. So we plate those up so that as people walk in, we're ready to throw out their chips and salsa. We actually cut the tortillas. The corn tortillas we even make in-house. So we have somebody who makes the masa, flattens it out, heats it, and then we have tortillas for the day. We make about 300 a day. And then as soon as we're done with this one, we can bump it right off of there. As more come up, they'll be up on the screen for us.
And what system to use? I see a toast. Toast, okay.
Toast is our POS. I don't know if you've had the opportunity to see a walk-in yet, but we also have, this is where we store all the cold food.
Okay.
We keep our drinks and things on this side, and then there's a specific way that you lay it out to keep everything food safe. Your raw meats on the bottom, things that are ready to eat toward the top, to keep everybody safe.
Yeah, you date everything? And...
We do. It's got a date. It's got the label of what it is, so that we're ready to go.
Wow. Yeah. And how do you determine, like, when do you buy the food? When do you get more? Is it just like...
So you can set up with your food purveyor what days you're going to do your order. So when we first set up with Cisco or US Foods, we say, okay, we think we're going to need 2 orders a week. What 2 days do you have available on your truck? Here's what time I need it delivered. And then we work out a schedule from there. And we do get 2 deliveries a week. We usually get 1 on Monday early in the week to set us up. And then we get 1 toward Friday so that we're ready for the weekend when you're the busiest.
And back here, what's some of the most popular items that you sell?
So definitely the tacos fly out of here. Like I said, we're making at least 300 shells a day. And we've got a carne asada taco, a steak taco that's delicious. And a lot of people are always curious how we get it out so fast, right? You sit down, we can have your tacos out in like 5 minutes. Let's take a look.
Okay.
Over here, for lunch, we set up a certain amount of meats and things that are already heated. We put them on the grill, we've marinated. And then when we're ready to serve, we stir so that you're going to get the hot stuff off at the bottom, get all the juices through it, and serve the tacos out. we will go through all of this at lunch, and then as dinner comes, we actually have to cook shrimp as we go. We have to cook. So we'll keep maybe 4 or 5 tacos ready.
Okay.
And somebody will be on this grill all night making sure that we keep fresh meat coming out for
Making more.
And this, you would think it's worrisome to leave it sit out here. Maybe it's not as fresh. That's not even true. It's marinating longer. It's in the sauces longer. So you're actually getting better flavor and better depth of flavor by the chicken that's been sitting here for maybe an hour.
Wow. So it's like an assembly line. You already have everything here.
Absolutely. We're going to take a tray.
Yeah.
We're going to heat up some tortillas here.
Okay.
If somebody has allergies, we actually have foil that we can put down so that it doesn't touch anything. We have paper that we'll put down here to make sure that we keep their food safe and not touching anything that might interact with an allergen. And then we're going to put their hot food together, come down here, put on any cold toppings, maybe some pico or some lettuce, cheese, avocado, whatever happens to come on it. We're going to sit it over here on the expo, and the front of the house is going to come in and grab it and get it out to your table.
Quick, 5 minutes, done.
Rush right through, yeah. We make sure everybody gets their food in a timely manner. Nobody wants to go hungry.
I think we just got an order in.
We did. We just got a ski days and 2 lunch specials. So Ruth will be right here in a second to get that put together for us. A ski days is a corn dish that we actually have to make when it comes in. So it's going to be a little bit longer to make, but you'll see she'll pull a pan out and start cooking that on the stove. Well, she gets everything else ready to go.
Yeah, simple. It says 2 tacos. You can kind of come in with the camera here. 2 tacos. It says what they want in it, water bottle, everything. And then you say you're working with Grubhub, right? So would the Grubhub orders also come here?
They also pop right up for us. Okay. Absolutely.
And is it based on? Because I know when I order Grubhub, if I'm an hour away versus 30 minutes away, do you make it based off when it arrives? Is there a certain time limit that you have?
So it's really cool that we can set different rules for that behind the scenes. So we often set it that we need your Grubhub driver, DoorDash driver, or whatever to pick up in 15 minutes. It gives me 15 minutes to put it all together, get it boxed up, get it out front. That way your person comes in and walks right back out with it, because we want it to go out fresh and hot. Yeah. We don't want it to sit here. So they don't send us the order until their driver's going to be here in 15 minutes.
Okay.
It's really cool the way it all works.
And as far as a labor perspective, right, as a food restaurant, you normally want to stay within a range. They say 30%, right?
We aim for 25. Yeah.
25? Okay. Yeah, because you've been able to consistently remain profitable throughout the process, even when you were working towards that ownership part. Is it just more so this business has always been good about keeping the expenses to where it needs to be?
It's part of the expenses, but it's also this massive support we get from the community. So it's a quantity amount. We serve quality, and then the number of people that come in, they bring that sales up where we need it. So.
And most of that money does go towards the labor, goes towards the back of the kitchen, right? Because they're the hourly people.
Your labor and your purchases. So especially this time of year when it's a little bit slower, you're looking at a little bit higher labor, probably 30 to 35% this time of year, just because there's a certain number of people you have to have in the restaurant. Whereas our food cost stays about 25% year-round.
I'd like to look at some of your drinks that you have here. Obviously, more Mexican. I would imagine that like Casamigos or something like that. Are those some of your top drinks?
Well, you can see that we've been collecting tequilas and mezcals because everybody has a different taste. And so we have a very large variety. Everybody wants a different margarita, and we can actually accommodate that. One thing I will say is when we make our sour mix here, we make it with fresh lemon and lime juice. We didn't use something that's got preservatives in it. And so making that in-house has made a huge difference. And so when you buy that quality tequila that you might want in it, you're having a Patron margarita and you're adding that fresh juice to it. It's a lot different, and you feel a lot better paying for that than if it were cheaper, maybe pre-made.
So can you go over some of like a top shelf versus a more standardized drink that somebody might have?
So our house tequila here is going to be salsa. It's not super cheap. We're not going aristocrat or something like that. We wanted to make sure that it was still quality, great tequila, that we could sell at a good price for our house margaritas. And then when we started thinking up, more top shelf, more what could we bring in? We've tried a lot of different options, but you mentioned Casamigos earlier. Definitely one of our higher ones. That's been a big sell. Espolón is a great sell. Patron.
We got right here.
Illegal Mezcal I thought was funny because I found this for a great price in the ABC store, and it's a great mezcal. We brought it in, And like maybe a week later, I saw it on like the Today Show or something, and they were talking about it.
Yeah.
The price like definitely.
Oh
I
man!
was like, that was my secret.
You were like an early investor. You were an early investor. You found something.
Absolutely, that was my secret. And
Oh
they told it.
no!
But it's
okay.
cool. I'm glad that they're doing well, and it really is a great option to have here.
Yeah.
The other thing I did not expect was having to have some top shelf bourbons and things.
Okay.
You know, we're a tequila place.
Yeah.
We're Mexican. I definitely thought that would be a thing, but you know, we've brought in some more top shelf bourbons, and
Yeah.
we're getting those Manhattans and things that have been a lot of fun to make. And you know, bartenders love to make something different. We make the same things all day. Come in and challenge us with something. It's a good time for everybody. The other cool thing that I found was Mount Defiance here in Virginia is a local, it's not a tequila because it's not made in Mexico, but it is a agave spirit is what they call it.
Okay.
So it's the agave is grown in Mexico and shipped here where they actually make the agave spirit. And I thought that that was really cool. We love having local beer. We love having some local alcohols of such. This one has been a lot of fun. Highlands Dragon Gin. It's a gin that's made in Virginia.
Wow.
And
Okay.
so, you know, just having some really
So you're trying
cool
different things out and
homemade
seeing
things, right? Like,
seeing what works.
let's get Virginia stuff.
Yeah.
Let's get DC stuff.
Yeah.
Make sure that we know what's here locally in our backyard.
Make a quick drink, guys. I'm gonna be put to work back here. Over here. Yeah, let's do it.
So you're gonna start with your tin, and you're gonna
Okay.
put some ice in the sky.
All right. Let's do it.
All right, and then we talked about this pour counting. So you're gonna take this 1800 right here, you're gonna flip it completely upside down, and you're gonna count to 4 and. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and.
And in here?
Right in there.
And I hold it from here, right?
Yep, and flip it upside down.
All right. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and.
Perfect. All right,
All
you're
right.
gonna take your Cointreau next, right beside it. Yep,
Nice.
let's leave that guy there. Yeah,
Oh,
you're
right
good.
here?
Yep.
Okay.
Anywhere.
This one right
Yep.
here? All
And
right.
you're gonna do 1 and.
Okay. 1 and.
Perfect. All right, this is agave syrup. You're gonna put just a little squeeze in there. Perfect. All right, you're
Nice.
gonna do the exact same thing with some lime juice.
Some lime juice
Little
here.
squeeze in there. Yep.
Boom. That's it.
All right, and then you're gonna do 1 and with a little sour mix.
Okay. 1
All
and.
right, you nailed it. All right, so you're gonna take this bottom 10
All right. Take
and
that.
put it inside the top.
Oh, my bad.
Yep, you've got this.
Like that?
Yep. All right, some people shake one-handed. I'm a two-handed shaker.
Is it not gonna spill?
Nope, you got it.
Okay.
Yep.
Like that?
Yeah.
Hey.
All right.
First drink.
Very, very
Nice.
important now. You're gonna
All
set
right.
this guy right here for a second.
Cool. Cool.
We're gonna grab a glass right here. And
Alright.
you're gonna put some lime juice on it right there and then dip it in the salt.
Just
Yep.
like that.
And now salt.
Just spin it.
There you go. You got a salted rim.
Whoa.
All right. So
I
now
got a career in this.
you can take this guy and pour it in there, and you're gonna want to pour about halfway.
All right.
All right.
that.
Now put this guy in here. There's a special trick. You're gonna pull it forward. There's a little spring in it, and pour the rest in.
Oh, I gotta put my hand on the corner here, right?
Yep. Perfect. Oh, you got it. Look at that.
Let's see that.
You don't want to miss any of the alcohol, so we're gonna make sure
I need all of
goes
it.
in there.
Let's go.
Perfect.
Oh, nice.
All right.
Nice.
You
Okay.
got a lime here. You're gonna decorate the glass. It's
Quick
already got
little
a slice in
decoration.
it, so you're gonna see it go right on.
Boom.
There's a secret to how we cut those. That's for another day.
That's for
And
another-
then you got a little straw right there,
Like that.
and you just made a margarita.
Just like that. Listen, I'm an expert. I'm available for hire. I'm here.
There we go.
Little taste test first
yeah,
of all.
do it.
Yeah, look at
Premium.
that.
Yeah.
Premium. And when you're trying to sell this alcohol and you're working with your bar staffs, you're training them, how much of the selling really goes on within the process? Are you trying to kind of lean them into a certain drink, maybe a more of a top shelf? How does that work?
It's so crazy. So everybody has their own technique. Everybody likes to sell different things. Maybe you like to sell appetizers more. And so that bumps your check up, but I like to sell a jumbo margarita more.
Yeah.
So I am gonna 9 times out of 10 ask if you'd rather have the jumbo margarita.
Oh, okay.
Because now I know I've already sold you 2.
Oh, 2 in 1. I didn't even think about that.
And then I don't have to sell the second margarita. It's done. Like we did that.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed that. That's one of my go-tos.
Yeah.
Dessert is also, I am a sucker for sugar. So I sell you dessert because you can see in my eyes how much I want to eat it.
Yeah.
So it's learning what you sell best behind the bar. So each bartender, each host, anybody that's working in a restaurant is going to figure out what they sell or upsell the best.
Okay. The employees that work here, your bartenders, are you looking more so for competency and know exactly what you're doing? Or can you teach that and look more so for the personality?
It's funny. There's a lot of things that you can teach, and there's a lot of things you can't.
Okay.
You know, I can't teach you to want to be here. You have to have that already. I can't teach you, I can teach you somewhat how to interact with guests, but I can't teach you to smile while you do it. That's what you have to just naturally do.
Yeah.
And so we're definitely looking for that when we bring somebody into the team. You have to already have that spirit of teamwork. You have to want to work with other people and want to help out and expect that help from them in return as a teammate. And so it's definitely a mix of the two. I can teach anybody how to make a drink.
Yeah.
That's just simple math. I can teach you how to do that. And I do. I teach a lot of my friends or people that are even considering bartending because I really enjoy teaching. But there's those intangibles that I just can't, I can't work with you on.
Yeah.
I can advise you and things, but I can't really, you can't coach somebody into wanting to show up today and wanting to be here for our guests.
So outside of the traditional revenue streams, like somebody, you know, you open up a bar, people come in at night, what are some other events and cool things that you've done to make some extra revenue into this place?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've really leaned into catering lately, which is a great extra revenue stream for us, but also bringing in people who want to have a happy hour. You know, if you go to a local BNI or some sort of networking group, I'm in National Association of Women Business Owners, and I'm in like 25 groups anyway. I love people, if you couldn't tell.
Yeah.
But getting them to come over and have a happy hour with us is great revenue for us. And then every one of them that enjoys it's going to go tell a friend they liked it. And so that definitely increases the traffic around here. Also having fundraisers. We do school fundraisers or really any nonprofit. And so we'll give a percentage back of everything that comes in for their group to their nonprofit. And maybe they've never eaten here before, but that's their motivation to come in and give us a try. So it definitely is marketing, but it's also community involvement.
Awesome, awesome. What are some of your neighbors here?
Yeah, so we have Toby's next door, which is ice cream, homemade ice cream, and we actually serve their vanilla ice cream with our dessert, which is super fun.
Oh, okay.
So you can come over here and get a full ice cream experience or get some churro donuts with vanilla ice cream. We had Aris Hardware. They had been here for 87 years, I believe, just retired. So they left us and we're waiting to see who our next neighbor is going to be.
Yeah,
but we've got, this neighborhood is so full of small businesses. A lot of women owned. We're getting ready to focus on that from the restaurant. So we have, I think 8 businesses right now that are women owned in Westover that we're aware of that'll be on a list, and we're asking everybody to go out and meet each one of them and get a stamp, and there'll be some prizes if you make it through the whole thing. So if you know a women-owned business and we don't have them on our list, let us know. We'd like to make sure everybody's on there. We do the Falls Church Foodie Trek, me and some friends.
Yeah.
And that's Greater Falls Church. So we usually put 12 restaurants on it. You have to go spend money at that restaurant. It could be buying a soda, it could be having a full dinner, whatever it is for you, you get it checked off, and then we draw winners at the end of it. So we've been doing that for about a year now.
Okay.
And we'll keep doing a new one probably every quarter or so. So lots of cool stuff going on to come out and get involved in.
And you have a Walgreens here, right?
We do.
Which that's going to bring a ton of business of just foot traffic.
Exactly.
People coming in and out.
Well, and when we need things, they're next door.
Oh, yeah, well, you guys, I didn't even think about that.
Like, I need a Red Bull or a candy bar.
Yeah.
So we run next door, milk, orange juice, whatever it happens to be. The Italian store draws a lot of people. Everybody in Northern Virginia knows an Italian store, and we're very fortunate to have one here in our neighborhood.
Wow. So you guys work together. It's not necessarily competition.
No, absolutely. We're all friendly in this neighborhood. We love to collaborate on things together, and we really support each other.
And just talking numbers for your location, if another woman would like to start her own bar, what was the current square footage of your bar, and what is roughly the amount that someone would spend to be in a strip like this to rent a spot?
Right, so 13,000 or 1,377 feet.
Okay.
It's my current size. It's very small,
Yeah.
but it's actually perfect for a small neighborhood restaurant because you pay that square footage 24/7, whether you're open or not. So it's
Yeah.
important to get something that you can afford. The going rate in Northern Virginia right now is about average of $50 a square foot. We got a really good deal for being here.
Okay.
So talk to the landlord about what you want to do. Tell them what your concept is, because the more that they're interested in it, the more they're going to work with you.
And so what would that math be on a monthly basis if you do that 50 times
So we
13?
actually got a good deal. We are under 50, sub 50 for ours, and we're paying about a little over $5,000 for our space.
Right.
Yeah.
5,000. So between rent and labor cost and cost of goods sold, those are your major costs
Right.
for your business, right?
I'm looking at about $6,000 or so in labor a week. We're looking at about $3,000 in buying our product a week,
Yeah.
depending on whether we need paper goods and stuff, could make that go up a little bit. And then you've got your gas, water, all the utilities, your dish machines cost money, your towels, aprons, and that sort of thing. But yeah, I mean, if you're mathing it out correctly and you do account for all of those things, there is money to be made in restaurants.
And where can somebody find you and your store?
So if you go on Instagram, we are at Westover Taco _, which is where we're the most active. We're also Westover Taco on Facebook, or westovertaco.com is our website.
And they're starting a YouTube channel with a cool new concept. We won't reveal yet, but you can check her out pretty soon too, right?
Absolutely. We got the new YouTube channel coming. We've also got the nonprofit Fund Her Games. So we're going to fund some girls' games around here.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much for inviting us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, we appreciate you. Make sure to subscribe, guys. Let's go.